Hi guys, and welcome to my next video. Unfortunately, not the same background as I had last time. As you can see, it's a lot more booby. But this is my next video. I didn't do the plush one because I've decided to join in on Toby's tag, which was started by Mr. Buddy, and I will link both their channels down below. Now, Birdkeeper Toby did his Evil Team tag round about a month ago, and he offered us to do our chance of doing our own ones back to him as well. So he invited us to make our own ones. Now, my Evil Team actually links in with Toby's, but I'll get to that towards the end. If you've watched a few others, you'll know that teams started based on something that you know. My team is called Team Hyper. Now, why Hyper, you ask? That is because at the time I was having a diabetic hyper, and that is when your blood turns toxic and makes you very hyperactive. So, forwarding on from that, I thought, well, Team Hyper, catchy name, I could use that as my team name. So, we've got that sorted out. What was the next thing? Well, I had to sort of think up of like a front, so I thought, well, hyper, hyperactive, opposite. Obviously, you get that generally from sweets, which is what happens when I have too much sugar. I get hyperactive. So, brilliant idea for that would be, just imagine you've entered your maybe third town or city, and you come there and there's this big bright candy shop, people milling around in uniforms, yellow and white, all happy and lovely like that, except there's something wrong with it. It's completely empty, apart from the actual workers and their Pokemon. You learn that nobody actually wants to go into the shop because the owner of it supposedly does something weird to the sweets. But you go to all your other towns, and of course you get there and you learn that this evil team leader obviously owns the candy shop, and she wants to try to get more people into the shop. As you're in other towns, you'll also find other food shops. Unbeknown to the player at this point, these food shops will be the admin shops. So we have a sort of Chinese style shop with my friend Jess admin with her Blaziken, because fried chicken. My brother would have a barbecue place with his signature Pokemon, Umbor. And then finally, the last admin highest up would be my boyfriend, Tom. And he owns a drinking water shop shack. So you'd have all your water Pokemon, and his main Pokemon would be a Blastoise. Nice and refreshing. So as you go along, you find out more about me. Obviously you haven't met me yet. You find out more about from my admins and that we're searching for something that can sell more food, because we just want people to be so hyperactive and having more and more food and spending more and more time in our shops. You eventually find out that we're actually looking for Crestelia. As you may know, helps with dreams. So my evil plan is to make people dream that our food is so succulent, and to spread it that more and more people want to come in and just want to keep on buying completely nobody else's food. This could mean that everybody else's shops in the whole region could collapse because all they want to buy is sweet stuff, my sweet stuff. I get to Crestelia and I start to, obviously, I will do something to her that makes her, my evil plan, try to, and of course you the player will try to get to me before I start spreading this notion around to everyone that they need to buy my sweets. So that's the basic storyline. On to the grunts. The grunts look like this, which will be here or in the next slide. And as you can see, they have a yellow and white theme. They look like they should be part of a candy shop. With the overalls, they'd have the H on the front of them, and of course the Pokemon would be things like Vanillux and Swirlpuff, things like that. you get to, when you finally get to battle me, my main Pokemon would be a Miltank. This is because I dress as Whitney to Comic Con and it's my most well-known cosplay, and you're thinking, well, why Miltank? Probably more likely beef. Moo Moo milk. That is the secret ingredient in all of our dishes that make people, you know, it boosts energy. If you don't need that energy boost, it's going to boost you even more. Hyperactive. Also, then you've got your sweet ones, like I said, like Swirlpuff and Vanilla Lux. And then finally, another odd one, which you might come across earlier on in the game if you've battled my admin Tom, would be a Shuckle. And now you might think this is weird, but again, what does Shuckle produce? In mass amounts, berry juice. Again, another sweet treat, which in real life would make me hyperactive. So, after battling and saving the world and what have you and like that, of course, I would have Cresselia. Now, I don't know whether this would be at the same time or not, but I'm now going to say how this actually fits in with Toby's. So Toby's, if you've watched his team is Team Snooze, and they're always laying about, and obviously very, not lazy, but you know, relaxed, chilled, and what have you. So opposite to that, obviously you've got my team, which are running around hyperactive, just want to battle you, go off and do something else, come and battle you, get some money. So, how else is this also? If you've stayed to the end of Toby's video, he said that he would have a post-game where you have to come to Chris and get Cresselia. That's where I come in, because obviously in the post-game you need Cresselia. What if my game ran alongside, so you would have to get Cresselia from my game to go and save Toby in his post-game, and vice versa. Something to do with Darkrai, I've not quite figured that out, but vice versa, so you'd have to get Darkrai from his game and back to mine. And that is my idea for my team. If you would like to do yours or send that to me, you can find me on Twitter at SteamChew. You can find me on my Facebook page at SteamChew Cosplay. And you can also find me on Instagram under SteamChew Cosplay. Remember, if you do it, tag Mr. Buddy and Toby, and let me know down in the comments what you'd like to see me talk about next, Pokemon wise or D&D, or even if you'd like to see some of my cosplays. So I will see you next time. Bye.